again with another tutorial. We are going to do the rail fence today. On your instructions you'll notice that you've got instructions for a 9 square block and a 16 square block. I'm going to do the 16 square block for today. So let's see what we need. We need 3 different types of fabric. So I'm going to use some white, some black and some more sporty football fabric. So it says that for the 16 block square, we need to cut 3 lots of 1.5 inch strips by 60 inches in length. So as you can see, I've already done that. So I've got a really long 60-inch strip, which is 60 inches in length and 1.5 inches in width. And I've done that with 3 different types of fabric. And now what we're going to do is we are going to sew the strips together. So what we'll end up with is a really long 60-inch piece of material that looks like that. So to sew these together, you can choose which order you want them in. I think I'm gonna go with this order. Yes, I am. So I would put that one over there and sew down there, and then I would put that one over there and sew down there. What I will tell you is that when you're sewing really long strips together, only sometimes the machine can actually stretch them a little tiny bit, and that's because the top and the bottom don't always go at the same speed. It's to do with the feed dogs, and there's a whole lot of sciencey sewing machine jargon about this which I don't know, but I do know what happens, and your fabric ends up like a banana. It sort of goes like that. So what I would suggest is when you're sewing your first 2 pieces together, sew one way, and then when you're joining your other piece on, sew down in the opposite direction, and that should stop your fabric curving like a banana. So I'm going to go off to the sewing machine now. I sew my pieces together and hopefully not shaped like a banana, and then I'll meet you back here. Okay. And we're back again. So now what you should have is something that looks similar to this. A big, long, stripy piece of fabric. So the next part of the instructions say I need to now cut this piece of fabric. Oh, I did press it, by the way. I pressed the seams as per the instructions. So now this great big long piece of fabric is now going to be cut into 16 3.5 inch squares. So we're just going to take my ruler, and I've already straightened one end, so I'm just going to do my best to get it as even as I can. It's a bit springy this, but you know, just persevere. 1 2 3.5. So I'm trying to line up the top and the bottom and the side, and go on, we'll go with that. Whizzy, I do need a new blade in here, and that's our first square. Ta-da! So we need to cut out another 15 of these, and then we'll show you the fun part. Okay, I'm off to cut my squares. And I'm back. So as you can see, I've got all my squares all cut out. So now what I'm going to do is arrange them as shown in the diagram. Now there are 2 ways you can do this. You can sort of, let's say, so if you look at your square The outside stripe on either side are the ones that make the stripy pattern. So if I just show you on here, can you see how the white makes the sort of steps up to the top like that? Well, it's the outside stripes that do that. So you'll understand what I mean when I show you. So we'll start off. You've got one that way, and then you turn the next one that way, and then you put the next one the same as that one, so it would be that way, and then the next one would be the same as that one, so it would be that way. So then you bring in the rest and you do the same again. So because we've got that one going vertically, we'll put this one horizontally. So it's always the opposite to the block on the top. So we'll put that one that way, and then we'll put the next one that way, and then we'll put the next one that way. Now can you see we've got the steps forming? So you can see them with the football and you can see them with the white, but with the black being in the center, that doesn't make a step. And then you just keep going. So we put that one that way, and then this one this way, and then the next one that way, and then the next one that way, and so on and so forth until you've got your block. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go off camera and I'm going to sew these together. So just to be clear, we're going to sew this one to this one. So I would flip this over, and then I would sew down there and open it back up, and then I would sew this one to this one, down there, open it back up, and then I would sew these two pairs together down the center, and that would make one row. So make all your rows and then join your rows together. Okay, so I'll meet you back in a second. Well, it will take me longer than a second, but I'll meet you back shortly and I'll show you how I've done it. Okay. And here we are, all finished, all sewn together. Pay no attention to this side. I was a bit too keen when I was squaring the block off and I chopped a bit too much off. So don't look at that side. Okay, so there we are. I've joined each of my blocks together, and then I joined the rows together. And if you can spot the blocks, we've got 4 rows of 4, which makes the 16 blocks. And quite accidentally, it looks like I've got like 3D shadow steps, which was purely accidental. Anyway, so there we go. That's the finished block. I hope you all enjoy that. It is well worth doing, because I think if you experiment with some different colours, different fabrics, you could get something quite interesting with it. And there we go, another tutorial. So I will see you all at the next one. Okay, bye for now.